Fix Your Flat Feet Part 2. My name is Dr. Marco Lopez, Doctor of Physical Therapy and Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and co-founder of the Basketball Doctors. All right, guys, so in Part 2, we're going to go a little bit more on this functional exercise weight bearing for flat feet. So in the first part, check out the link in our description if you guys haven't checked it out. But in the first part, we really introduce how to create that arch, more that neuromuscular component and that mobility component. And like I mentioned, flat feet, there's two levels of flat feet, or two different types. You have the anatomical ones where you're born with flat feet. Those don't really benefit with these exercises. They still do, but not as much as the ones that you already have an arch, and over time that arch just collapses. And that's important because especially if you have pain or have any pathologies that are associated with flat feet, such as plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendinopathy, or even just knee pain, this is important for you to address. So like I mentioned, in the first part, we taught you how to create that arch, how to mobilize the foot. Now we're gonna make this all functional and make it weight bearing standing for you to work on this arch. So let's jump into it. The first exercise we're gonna do is the posterior tibialis heel raise. So the posterior tibialis muscle runs through the inside part here, and it helps create the arch here in your foot. So the way we're gonna address this muscle is we're gonna do our heel raise with two legs, but we're gonna place a lacrosse ball or any kind of ball between our heels, and we're gonna push on the heels to supinate our foot and really create stability there and drive off that big toe. And this is very important because that muscle controls the arch there. So you're gonna place the lacrosse ball here. I'm gonna show you guys here in the back view. So as I do my heel raise, I need to create pressure onto that lacrosse ball with both heels as I go up. And you're gonna feel the inside part of your calf working as well. As I'm driving up, I'm pushing on those heels and creating that tension in my calf and going up here on the heel raise. I'm gonna move over here to show you guys a different component, different coaching cues. So the big thing here though, is a lot of people try to go on their pinky toes when they're doing the calf raise, or not putting enough pressure through those first three toes to really create and add a little bit more pressure coming on the inside part of your foot when you're driving up. So that big toe, second toe, and third toe. But you still want to have contact throughout all the toes, but really drive towards that second and third toe to really create evenly distributed pressure as you go up in this heel raise. And I want you to go up in the heel raise, hold it for a second, creating tension on that lacrosse ball the entire time. So really create the lacrosse ball. A lot of times we'll see people, when they do this, they'll really exaggerate here and the lacrosse ball comes towards the middle portion of the foot, but it has to stay in the heel and you're driving straight up. And you're gonna feel that arch working and also that muscle in the inside part of your calf. Next two exercises are gonna be now putting a lot of the things together. We're gonna be creating an arch in a full weight bearing position and adding some functional exercises. For these next two exercises, all you're gonna need is 2 plates or 2 bucks. Just gotta make sure they're equal height and length, just so you could really create this arch there. So when we do this exercise is we're gonna place our foot between these 2 plates, and I'm gonna place the ball of my foot on one part of the plate and the heel on the other plate. So my arch is technically in midair. Then I'm gonna go in this position and I just wanna balance in this position. You're gonna feel like your foot's moving in and out, supinating, pronating, trying to really create that arch there and stabilizing. So remember, the ball of your foot's gonna be there, not your toes. And you really just wanna stay in this position that you're kind of balanced and really activating that muscle. So you're in this position, bring that opposite knee high, and then be as tall as you can and just feel that muscle burning. You're gonna feel the arch, the bottom of your foot working, because this entire time, this is gonna be floating and this is gonna be stabilized here and here. And that's gonna force this arch to be a little bit elevated or supinated to create that arch. Big thing with this is a lot of people will try to come off their toes this way or go this way. You wanna make sure the heel is on the ground, not on the ground, but on the plate. Your big toe, little toe, heel have to be on the ground as well. So you're creating still that tripod stance that we went over in part 1. So if you guys haven't checked out part 1, check it out in our link in our description. So we go here. The goal is for you to be here in this position for 1 minute. To make it more challenging, you can have your hands by your hips and stabilize your foot there. So once you get 1 minute down, and this feels easy, then we're gonna add in the functional exercise, the RDL. So same concepts apply. I'm gonna create that arch by just putting my foot in these plates. Once I'm in this position, I'm gonna go into this RDL. And when I go into this RDL, I'm really making sure I'm working this foot and I'm not collapsing inward or anything. My knees aligned. And then from there, I'm just gonna come back up. So the entire time my foot's working, while going through this functional exercise to help stabilize that arch the entire time. So as you see, when you're doing the exercise, you might be wobbly, but that's okay. You want to re-stabilize, get a good control of your arch, and then create that big toe, little toe heel stability component, and then go down and then come up. The whole goal is for it to be as smooth as possible, and you want to do this barefoot, not with shoes, so you can really feel those muscles working. But those are the two exercises you want to do with the plates to really get that arch working and really stabilize that foot. All right, guys, hopefully you guys liked the exercises that we went over in this video on how to fix your flat feet. This is a little bit more functional. This is really working on stability in that weight bearing position. And if you're, like I mentioned below, if you're having issues just creating an arch, check out how to fix your flat feet part 1. It's the link in our description below. The important thing is this is going to really help stabilize your foot, create that arch, and to help absorb some shock there. If you guys have any questions regarding flat feet, or if you're dealing with an injury itself, send us an email. We have our email in our bio, or if you send us a DM on Instagram, whatever works best for you guys. And also, if you guys have any questions regarding any of these injuries, comment below. We'll try to answer with videos. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this with friends and family. We are the Basketball Doctors. Let's ball for life.